Welcome to the Sustainable Development Strategies for Higher Educational Institutions, massive open online course, Sustainability in Motion, Your Role in Global Goals. My name is Metisa Pocic, and today for you, I will present you the Module 1, Importance and Relevance of Sustainable Development Goals for Your Career. In today's module, I will speak about Introduction to SDGs, where I will present you short historical background and dimensions of SDGs. Then I will speak about how SDGs are important and relevant in terms of your professional career development, how you can integrate SDGs into your professional career goals and professional career development pathways, what kind of future trends are there on the horizon in terms of careers, and how they intervene with the SDGs, and to what you should pay attention. Then I will introduce you with a set of tools and useful practical examples on how you can monitor and measure your career impact on SDGs and vice versa. Then I will end with the practical assignments and set of conclusions. Let us start with Module 1. Before we go into the essence of our module, I want you to know actually what Sustainable Development Goals are. Those are a set of global objectives resulting from multilateral efforts between United Nations member states, aiming to shift the world towards more sustainable and resilient pathways through resolution of social, economic, and environmental challenges of our time in order to create a better world and life for all. Development of Sustainable Development Goals can be traced in 1992 with the Agenda 21, which at the time was adopted to serve as a global, national, and local environmental plan. And first Commission for Sustainable Development is being created at the time. Then in 2000, United Nations member states adopted Millennium Declaration agreeing on 8 Millennium Development Goals aimed to resolve social, economic, and environmental challenges at the time, but also reduce extreme poverty by 2015. Also, Millennium Development Goals mainly were applied to economies in transitions and developing countries to make them fully participate in the global development. Inspired by the Millennium Development Goals in 2012, United Nations member states adopted the Future We Want document, agreeing to develop 17 Sustainable Development Goals, now based on the principle of universality that will be applied to all countries globally. As a result of a work in 2015, 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is adopted, and now it serves as a global plan for eradicating social, economic, and environmental challenges by 2030. For your better understanding, I divided Sustainable Development Goals into economic development goals, social and cultural development goals, and environmental protection goals, with goal 17 being integrative and cross-cutting goal. And now the next slide will explain it to you closer. Speaking about Sustainable Development Goals, dimensions, and approaches, we need to remember a few things. First is that Sustainable Development Goals are universal, inclusive, and comprehensive goals that cover economic, social, cultural, and ecological dimension. Therefore, a holistic approach towards understanding of Sustainable Development Goals is required that implies careful balancing between all those dimensions of the society, actors, systems, and challenges surrounding them. Holistic approach implies stakeholder involvement. And in order for a stakeholder involvement to be successful, we need to take inclusive and transformative approaches that focus on inclusion of everyone without discrimination. And transformative approach involves systemic thinking, readiness to shift our mindsets and take an action to achieve Sustainable Development Goals. Then finally, interdisciplinary approach is required, where various stakeholders from government, non-government, industry, society, across disciplines are essential, and their collaboration is essential for maximizing the impact of Sustainable Development Goals and their achievement. Sustainable Development Goals are relevant for your career for numerous reasons. Today, I will present you just some of the most significant for your understanding and knowledge. 1. Careers are shaped by many aspects of our society, not just the money or economics or the currency we are earning and contributing to. In other words, our careers are intertwined with social, environmental, cultural, and global challenges that we are facing nowadays. Second, SDGs guide career practices and narratives while shaping professional development environment and practices that are being applied by employers all around the world, where you as a future employee will be working. Third, future employers demand sustainability skills, requiring graduates to have mindset and SDG-related competencies. Nowadays, companies, industries have also a social mission and responsibility. And in order to fulfill their social responsibility, they need you, graduates, with SDG-related competencies that can help them fix the world issues and also deliver some value to the society. Fourth and final, universities play a crucial role in preparing students with SDG-related skills, consequently enhancing employability and social impact. If you're a graduate, then you definitely are lucky because your universities, as a socially responsible institutions as well, can help you develop SDG-related competencies, not just universities, but also perhaps other educational institutions, lifelong learning opportunities that you are taking into your professional development, and other initiatives where universities or institutions where you are acquiring some kind of accreditation are actually paying a careful attention to development of sustainable development goals related competencies. By integrating SDGs into educational professional practices, you are not just learning new concepts. You can in fact develop sense of responsibility and awareness, curiosity, and sustainability-related competencies that are both relevant for career, but also your life and the functioning in the everyday spheres. And then you can also develop a real-world solutions to sustainability challenges while growing into future leaders, because you're already being equipped by competencies that can enable you to do all of that. In fact, you are developing sustainability-related competencies such as ethics, social responsibility, and similar. Interpersonal and collaboration skills such as conflict resolution, community activism, or in general activism. Problem-solving and innovation skills such as critical thinking, systemic thinking, leadership and self-management skills such as empathy, self-efficacy, positive self-perception, curiosity and adaptability skills such as openness to new ideas, resilience, self-motivation, and so on. And a lot of those skills are already covered in our MOOC, so I encourage you to go from Module 1 to Module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and complete our MOOC to be able to equip yourself with some of those skills. Now, I will finish this section with a set of reflective questions that you can ask yourself. Feel free to pause the video and write down your thoughts. Ask yourself, what sustainability-related skills or competencies do you think are most important for your future career? In what ways can your university or organization help you develop career skills relevant to sustainability? And finally, how does the idea of integrating SDGs into your career change your perspective on your role in addressing global challenges? Now, let us find out how you can integrate SDGs into your professional career goals. In order to do it, actually, to align your SDGs with your career goals, you should take care of 3 points. Active engagement. Achievement of SDGs requires active engagement of diverse stakeholders, as we pointed out in the introduction section, where diverse stakeholders' experiences, perspectives, or holistical approach towards resolving SDGs is required. Same applies to aligning SDGs with your career. Second, you need education and awareness or exposure to education, activities, opportunities, and experiences where you can increase your awareness around the importance of SDGs for your career. And you can actually do it through active engagement with university, organization, and community stakeholders. And then finally, your experiences can help you shape some of those skills and align your career with SDGs, where experiences outside of curricula, such as continuous learning, collaboration, are key for building some of the skills that can help you in your employment prospects. We created Table 1 and tool in our training material for Module 1, specifically for you to get yourself into the process of aligning your careers with SDGs. Take a look at this table. It is in the section of this slide. Some of the key sustainability and SDG related skills for your career development that you should pay attention to and keep in your mind are social and emotional skills, cognitive and metacognitive skills, basic digital skills, and basic skills for green jobs. According to international labor organizations, those are the key skills for life and work in 21st century, and we want you to take a careful attention about which of those skills you might possess and where you need improvements. We will not go into the essence of explaining what those skills in fact contain and how you can develop them. In fact, we will encourage you to take a look at the ELO Global Framework and our MOOC in order to be able to identify some of your skills. However, I will give you a key 4 points that you can use as a form of an action in order to develop some of those skills. Identify your skills. Where are your strengths and where you need improvements? Perhaps you might be strong in social and emotional skills and weak in basic skills for green jobs or digital skills. Set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound in order to improve your skills. Take action. Participate in activities and experiences that target skills development at your university level, community engagement, or industry, and so on. And then finally, track progress. Reflect on your growth and adjust as needed. Do not be scared to go to the step 1, where you need to identify new skills that you might develop and perhaps the skills where your strong key points are. And then again, go from identifying areas of strengths and improvement, setting new goals, taking action, and tracking the progress. You should prepare for future career paths, and you can do it through 3 steps. First, understand and integrate sustainable development goals into your career, then prioritize social responsibility and stay adaptable and open to change. Why? When you understand and integrate sustainable development goals into your career, you will be able to choose carefully industries that are in alignment with sustainable development and future challenges and opportunities, but also you will be able to choose an area or industry of your own interest and see where you as an individual can contribute the most. Social responsibility, as we said, is being a high priority of many employers, industries, and so on. And understanding and embedding social responsibility can be a huge asset when it comes to employment and functioning and professional development at organizational level. And then in order to be adaptable to the future trends and changes into employment, you need to stay open to change, and you need to constantly reskill and upskill and gain new knowledge to be able to actually switch from one job position to another, change your career, or have sustainable career development pathway. Because according to International Labor Organization, there is a possibility for you to even 5 times change your job throughout your career professional development. Staying informed about trends and industries and challenges and opportunities is also highly relevant. And next slide will tell you why. Future career opportunities, according to International Labor Organization, lie in emerging sectors, specifically green economy, blue economy, knowledge economy, care economy, and orange economy. In the brackets, we put some of the examples of professions in those economies. However, the list is non-exhaustive, and you can, from your professional point of view, see where best you can fit in and what kind of position in certain sector you can take. Besides taking advantage of the growth areas in certain sectors, you should also focus on digitalization and technology. As we can see, artificial intelligence and robotics are changing the job environment. Then you should also look for global trends that are specifically focusing on the set of social, economic, and environmental challenges that maybe throughout your career you can resolve. You also should pay attention to policy and investment, specifically investment into skills, infrastructures, careers, and positions that are essential for organizations to survive in the future. And then interdisciplinary collaboration, as I mentioned in the first module section, Introduction to SDGs, is essential because resolution of sustainable development goals is a complex and it requires close collaboration between professionals from all sciences, from applied to social sciences and humanities, and there lay also your career opportunity. Besides career opportunities, you might face career challenges. Some of the future career challenges are adapting to various changes, environmental, technological, demographic, political, and social changes that are more and more visible in our societies. Then there is a climate impact that leaves threats to career and labor productivity that excludes various workers and professionals from a reach. And then also climate impact has a huge impact on creation of a new job and sectors but at the same time, many jobs and sectors might disappear. Reskilling and upskilling is required, and reskilling and upskilling doesn't imply only a will. There is necessity for investment and careful consideration of the job losses and job selection. There is also inequality in the gaps in education and employment access. Specifically at the global level, there is a global job gap that has to be filled in next decades. And then finally, there comes a youth employment that is closely connected to a job gap. And in this sense, young people need to understand that there are certain challenges in the youth employment that they should resolve, such as, for example, gender equality or inclusion of disadvantaged groups into participating in full participation and professional development into society through professional careers, but also at the same time, more than ever, the careful strategic planning of career for emerging jobs and fluctuating job market is necessary than ever. Besides aligning your career goals with SDGs, you also should be able to monitor and measure your career impact on SDGs and their achievement. Organizations where you might work in the future are expected all around the world to have some kind of a framework or tool in place to measure their impact on SDGs. As we said, organizations that are employing professionals like you are becoming more and more socially responsible. For today's purpose, we will use the logic framework to explain you how organizations can actually measure their impact on SDGs that we want you to take into your mind while completing this module. More about this from the individual perspective, not organizational only, will be said in Module 5, and we encourage you to listen to the module file as a complementary module to this section. Input. You should be able to see what kind of resources organization is putting in, whether financial, human, infrastructure, in order to address SDGs and create the impact. What kind of activities organization is undertaking to create and measure impact on SDG, whether there is any training in place, opportunity for workers, whether reporting is taking place, policy, intervention, development, and so on. Outputs. What outputs are created through activities to encompass SDGs and reach impact? Outcomes or results that occurred that have positive or negative impact on SDGs. And finally, impact that are bigger attributable effects or observable changes that you might track. Besides organizations and their contribution to SDGs and impact, you also, as a professional, need to be able to evaluate your own impact on SDGs. And you can do it through following steps. First, identify career objectives and then align your career goals with SDGs while writing down your goals, career goals, and then matching them with specific SDGs and the targets belonging to that SDG. Assess your career values. See what kind of values, mission, vision you have for yourself and what kind of values are non-negotiable for you. Evaluate your career impact and see how your career can contribute to social, economic, and environmental sustainability. In what areas you can make the most significant improvements. Identify current challenges. List current sustainability challenges related to your career area and to your values and impact. Forecast future challenges while anticipating sustainability challenges in your career field. As we said, be able to follow the industry and labor market trends, but also the trends that affect societal development and development of SDGs and their resolution in the society. Plan interventions or actions that you will take to address sustainability through your career. Set a timeline while development of those interventions. Measure sustainability impact by analyzing assumptions and casual analysis of expected and real effects that you created to your interventions. And then finally, assess the impact of your sustainability efforts on your career progression that can be positive or negative. We assume they are positive and that you will distinguish yourself as a future sustainability champion. In order to enhance your understanding of today's material I presented in the Module 1, I prepared you 2 exercises. Case study exercise through which you're supposed to integrate sustainable development goals with career. It is a hypothetical case scenario with a set of questions that can help you align SDGs with career professional development while addressing different social, economical, environmental challenges and also holistically approaching the sustainable development goals in the context of your career. Case studies available on the supplementary materials section in the module page with a template for action plan, personalized action plan in the form of a canvas that after completing case study exercise, you can adapt to your personal trajectories and complete for yourself to be able to reflect actually on how you can enhance your professional career, align it with SDGs, and measure the impact of your career on sustainable development goals. Second exercise is career journaling. That's supposed to help you reflect on thoughts, challenges, and progress towards aligning your career with sustainable development goals. Same as case study exercise, career journaling template is available on the supplementary materials section. You can download it for your own personal use and use it regularly to reflect on opportunities, challenges, actions that can help you align your career, but not only career, also your personal aspirations with sustainable development goals. We came to the end of this module 1, and there are key messages I want you to take with yourself from today's module. SDGs address critical economic, social, environmental, and cultural challenges, and therefore they have universal framework and are often regarded as global goals. In order to understand sustainability, you need to do a networking, gain relevant experiences, and set yourself for sustainable development goals. Through taking proactive steps that are essential for your career development. In order to do it, refer to numerous tools, activities, exercises, and useful advice prepared for you in this module and other modules in our MOOC. Adapting to technological, environmental, and demographic changes as presented in the previous slides, while leveraging emerging sectors provides career opportunities. You should be able to forecast and measure future challenges and opportunities and see where your niche is and how you can best contribute. Integrating SDGs into education and career enhances employability and aligns with global sustainability efforts, resulting in you being aware, having social sustainability competencies, and being able to navigate your professional and individual life in our challenging society and times. And then finally, collaboration across diverse fields or interdisciplinary collaboration is crucial for addressing complex sustainability challenges and ensuring long-term professional success. Do not hesitate to reach out to your peers, colleagues, and other experts from other fields, not necessarily in the one where you gained most of your education, and be open towards changes and exchange of knowledge and technology and ideas for a better future. Besides those key messages, I would love to end this module with 3 key reflective questions that I want you to ask yourself while either following me or pausing the video and writing down your thoughts. Ask yourself, how can you stay adaptable and proactive in addressing the challenges of a rapidly changing job market? How can you contribute to sustainability and social responsibility in your future profession? And what roles could you play as an agent of change? And finally, how will advancements in artificial intelligence, digitalization, and technology impact the career path you are interested in? And what can you do to stay ahead of these changes? That would be all from Module 1. Thank you for the attention, and make sure you complete Module 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.